travel across centuries, meet scientists, physicians, engineers, and thinkers who shape the world and connect them to what we do today. Let me start with a simple icebreaker question. I have already shared it on the chat. Like, when you hear the words Indian knowledge system, what image comes to your mind? Is it Ayurveda? Is it yoga? Is it astrology? Is it temples? Or maybe something else? What exactly do you see? Do you get into your mind? You can share it in your chat box. Okay. One of them has told it's a traditional and cultural of India. Anything else? You can type it on the chat box, or you can tell it out also. It's the you'll be unmuted.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
ancient India. Anything else? Like when you hear the words Indian knowledge system, what all you get it in your mind? Gurukul system, yes. Science and nature. Okay, so let's reflect. So medical treatments. Okay, so okay, there are many. Today, as it's a faculty development program, I thank IoT Academy for giving me this opportunity to talk about Indian knowledge system. So today, the theme of today's talk is unveiling India's scientific heritage. I want you to think of this session as an opening of a treasure chest, where each well is contribution India made to science and technology, from astronomy to metallurgy, from agriculture to psychology. Indian knowledge system is not just about the past, but about creating a sustainable future. So we are not glorifying Indian knowledge system blindly, but we are here to appreciate, analyze, and how this system can guide modern researchers in education. As you all are the faculty who are here to educate the next generations and who are here for the research and all. So we want to know how Indian knowledge system in science and technology is important and how we want to do. So once you have discovered today that Indian knowledge system is not just only in the science and technology. We have Gurukul system, we have Indian knowledge system into medical, we have, as you all told, it's about temples, Vedas, etc. So let's see how Indian knowledge system matters today. Why are we talking about Indian knowledge system today? So first, when we see our own India's national education policy NEP 2020, when it was released, it was told that Indian knowledge system has to be integrated into our educational system, which will foster the holistic and culturally rooted learning environment. And when we go for NIRF rankings and NAC grading systems, or any grading systems as per now, and also whatever Medical Council of India, Dental Council of India, or any other what do I say, any other like computers or any other grading systems, if you go, the last question they ask is how your college or how your institute is lined with Indian knowledge system. And for that, we are here today to know how to integrate Indian knowledge system, and how there are, I mean, I'm not just telling you how to integrate, I'll just give you a few ways and routes where you can go about it. And now we also know that Indian knowledge system has a global recognition. So for example, if you see Ayurveda and yoga, so yoga, we know that there are many yoga studios in New York, there are turmeric lattes in London, Ayurvedic skincare in Japan. All these are examples of Indian knowledge system being globalized. And Indian knowledge system is also a sustainable in innovation. If you see agriculture, we have solutions for soil fertility, eco-architecture, natural medicine, exactly what the world needs in the era of the climate change. So how many of you have already practiced something from Indian knowledge system in your personal life? In your personal life, do you practice any yoga, meditation, or any Ayurvedic remedies? You can actually share it on the chat. Let's keep it interactive so that it's not boring. Yes, thank you, ma'am. Jayashri, ma'am, have told that they use Ayurveda and meditation. Some use yoga already, and some use a simple living and high thinking. Yes, India is about Sanatana Dharma, where Sanatana Dharma is not about how you follow, it's about the science and technology inculcated into the day-to-day life where we can live sustainably. So as we know that we already practice Indian knowledge system in day-to-day life, but we have to integrate into our education system. And how do we go about it? First, let's learn how the Indian knowledge system has started. So it's like a river. Sometimes it flows smoothly, sometimes it hit rocks in the colonial period, but it never stopped. When we see the ancient era, we have Vedic period where there are seeds of astronomy, medicine, rituals are tied to nature cycles, where the hymns and shlokas were told orally. There was not much of written knowledge in the ancient area. Most of them was from through the poems to the hymns, which was told to the students by the sages. And then there was a classical era where it was considered as a golden period, where we can see many scientists like Aryabhatta, Charaka, Sushruta, Panini, who have flourished with the knowledge systems. And also you can see many developments here. And then you can see many universities which have many universities which have evolved in this era, like Nalanda University, and also in the medieval era. So when you see India as a demographic, it's not about the map which we see today. India has spread its knowledge from east. On the east, when you see, it has went into till the Indonesia, where you can see Angkor Wat temples, and also till the west, where you can see in the Iran and also in Afghanistan the roots of Indian knowledge system. So in medieval period, the cultural exchange has happened with Arabs, Persians, and we were enriched with learning and exchange of knowledge. When you come to the modern era, there was it was not smooth. It hit rocks because of the British and all, where this colonial impact has decreased the spread of knowledge or evolution of knowledge, but we had more scientists during that time who have created the current advancements, which we'll go through it one by one. So now, when we talk about astronomy, first, when we talk about astronomy, we hear the name Aryabhatta. Aryabhatta's Aryabhatiya described Earth's rotation and heliocentric elements centuries before Galileo. And also, we have Surya Siddhanta, where uh, Surya Siddhanta has calculated eclipses and diameters of Earth and Moon with surprising accuracy. Concept of cyclic infinite universe were developed here long before modern cosmology. So imagine sitting under an open sky 1500 years ago without telescopes, yet being able to predict eclipses with pin drop accuracy. That was the brilliance of Indian astronomers. So we have to applaud Indian astronomers here, where all these discoveries have happened long before it was actually discovered in other regions of the world. So when you come to metallurgy and engineering, here the science and technology has evolved much more than what we see today, because the modern scientists are already baffled with the Delhi iron pillar, which you can see that since 1600 years it is rust free. So there are many experiments which are done, how the metallurgy has been done, how phosphorus rich composition helps in this rust free in iron pillar. And also we can see Java zinc distillation, which is also pioneered in the downward distillation furnaces, and also the water engineering, which you can see still Rani Ki Vav in Gujarat, which showcases the complex architectural and hydrological design for water management. So my grandmother used to say, water is wealth. Ancient India built wells to store water, as step wells were both temples and water banks. So when you come to medicine, which is my field, the ancient roots of healing and surgery, we already have Ayurveda, the science of life, where we all know about the Charaka Samhita and Shushruta Samhita. These both were pioneers, where they gave us transcriptions about internal medicines, diagnostics, pharmacology, and in Sushruta Samhita, you can see surgical practices where 300 surgical instruments were used, 120 surgical procedures were being written. So when you see that plastic surgery, including rhinoplasty, was documented long before British have used it. And also there is Rasa Shastra, where we integrated chemistry with medicine, focusing on just a second, focusing on the use of minerals and metals for therapeutic purposes. So as you can know that we have during this time monsoon, we give our kids, or we have turmeric milk at home for a cough. That's Rasa Shastra in daily life. So we also have honey as a treatment for cough. We have ginger as a treatment of cough. All these are roots of Ayurveda which are still inside us. Ayurveda is also Indian's traditional medicine, which has been gaining global recognition. The World Health Organization acknowledges the value of traditional medicine in holistic healthcare. But if we want to inculcate, integrate Indian knowledge system into medical, where we combine yoga and Ayurveda into medical practices, the first thing we have to do is emphasizing evidence-based validation. So these days, evidence-based validation is crucial for integrating these ancient systems into mainstream healthcare with credibility. So one such example I can take is turmeric was once common in every Indian kitchen, but it was taken as a patent abroad until Indian scientists have fought back. That shows the importance of protecting and validating our knowledge. So here, when we want to integrate the Indian knowledge system into the contemporary knowledge system, we have to remember one thing, that whatever which were discovered previously in the Indian knowledge system can be brought to contemporary knowledge system by including them in our research, where evidence-based validation can be done, and also getting patents, and all these can be included now, and integration can be done easily. We can also see the branch of agriculture where we have Vriksha Ayurveda. So at present, millets have been called by the WHO as the sustainable crops. So this has been used in India since millennial. So systematic crop rotation was used to maintain soil fertility. Techniques for soil regeneration was used, and organic matter and natural fertilizers, and advanced methods of food preservation and storage to ensure year-round availability. All these were already practiced in the Indian knowledge system since the Vedic era. But we also have to integrate these into the newer contemporary knowledge system. So how many of you have neem and tulsi at home? Almost all of us have neem and tulsi at home. Neem is considered as a antibiotic, pesticides, a medicine for diabetes. All these are Vriksha Ayurveda. And tulsi is considered as tulsi can decrease cortisol levels by 40% in half an hour. So nowadays, everyone is talking about stress, Nowadays, everyone is talking about stress and emotional stress, breakdowns, and need for psychology treatments, etc. But if we combine Vriksha Ayurveda from the agriculture stream and also the psychology, and do a research on Tulsi in decreasing cortisol levels, and then we can do this kind of study in comparative with other medicines which are readily available, and then we can promote this, integrate these studies to integrate into Indian knowledge system into the contemporary knowledge system. So Indian knowledge system has not, as I told you before, it is not stayed in the India alone. It has been translated and transmitted everywhere into the world. So the translation and transmission started first where the translations have occurred in Arabic, and it flowed through the major intellectual centers like Baghdad and Cordoba. And in these universities also it has been used, and then these translations eventually reached Europe, where it has contributed to the dawn of Renaissance. So even during so next time when we think about the European Enlightenment and when we teach about Renaissance in the Europe, we can tell the students that some sparks came from the Indian oil lamps also. So India's rich knowledge system was not confined to the borders. It played a very pivotal role in igniting scientific curiosity across the globe. So, but the brakes have been placed by Macaulay's Minute, which has led to the systemic neglect of India's indigenous scientific traditions. He has told that there was no Indian knowledge system is very backdated and all, and he shifted the focus to Western education. This era saw this decline of patronage for traditional knowledge system. But, however, we had many Indian reformers and scientists who have pioneered in this powerful movement and revived the interest in rich scientific legacies, reaffirming their value and relevance. So even during this colonial times, yoga quietly survived in the ashramams, but today it is India's biggest export. So when we see the modern inspirations in the modern period also, even after the Macaulay's Minute was decreased the Indian knowledge system, we had many scientists like J.C. Bose and S.N. Bose, ISRO, who have still kept the Indian knowledge system in our roots, where you can see J.C. Bose, who has pioneered in plant physiology, proving that plants have feelings, and contributed significantly to early wireless communication and radio science. We also have S.N. Bose, whose work on quantum mechanics led to boson particle named in his honor. His collaboration with Einstein was foundational for modern physics. And ISRO, when they have sent their first Indian satellite, they have named the first Indian satellite as Aryabhatta, linking to modern space exploration to ancient wisdom. So how it's ISRO didn't choose a Western name; they honored Aryabhatta. That's the connecting of past with present. So this is how we still echo the names of our geniuses. So our main theme of today, that is Indian knowledge system in science and technology, is we have to protect the wisdom which is already rooted in our tradition. That is, the landmark turmeric and neem patent cases have highlighted the critical need of protecting traditional Indian knowledge from biopiracy, underscoring its significant value. And also, the Indian knowledge system is a very eco-friendly solution. That is, ancient practices inspire more modern eco-friendly technologies such as biofuel from cow dung, natural pesticides, and offering sustainable alternatives for greener future. So if you grew up in an Indian village, you probably saw dung cakes being used for fuel. Today we call it as a biofuel. So how do we integrate? So integrating of Indian knowledge system in modern education modern education and research is very, very important, because as we already know that national education policy, NARF and NAC already advocate us to integrate this. So first thing is, there are many universities across India which have established dedicated Indian knowledge system research centers promoting interdisciplinary studies and innovation in traditional fields. Let's see in the next slides how we can integrate with these research center. And also there are many collaborative opportunities for all the researchers who wants to participate in this Indian knowledge system and collaborate. But why does it matter today, now more than ever? So for us, integration is very important because we have to address the complex global challenges. It offers diverse perspectives, sustainable practices, and deeper understanding of our world, fostering a more equitable, resilient future for all. So in Indian knowledge system, we have holistic solutions. So when we talk about holistic solutions, Indian knowledge system, when you see that one discipline, if you see medicine today, it only speaks about medicine. If you see metallurgy, it only talks about metallurgy in modern knowledge system. But and there is only agriculture separately. But when you see Indian knowledge system, you learn all the three branches combined together equally. So it brings out holistic solution, integration of all the disciplines into one. And we also want to keep our cultural heritage. We want to preserve it. And also it is a kind of innovation catalyst. So when we tell our students, like, bring some research question, what is the research question, is there any research gap, we have to increase the create a spark inside them, that we still have something in our roots which can be added to the modern scientific, technological and advancement, that is combining Ayurveda with artificial intelligence. Like these sparks can be created into the students, and then we can integrate it. So first thing what we have to do is, as an educators and policy makers, we have to encourage. But how do we encourage is the most common question we listen today. First thing is, include it in a curriculum development. But already we have existing educational frameworks from early stages, but how do we integrate them? So does anyone have any idea how do you want to integrate, how can you integrate curriculum of Indian knowledge system into the modern practice? Any branch of any education system can answer in the chat. Like, if you want to add in your knowledge system, how do you want to do that? Epics can be taught to the students. Yes, that is good. Like Ramayana, Mahabharata, all these epics can be taught to the students, newer generation students, as not as a storytelling with combination of the practices which are done previously. These practices include the include ignite the minds of the students by using the older traditional methods into the modern methods. We can also, there are more answers by Jayashree ma'am. Management theories from Mahabharata, exactly ma'am. And Chanakya Niti can also be taught to the management students, Ramayana and other scriptures. And yes, Sujata ma'am, you can speak. Can you please unmute Sujata ma'am? Ma'am wants to talk.
Good evening, ma'am. Very nicely. It is actually Ramayana period. Actually, I just want to say one thing. Only in Ramayana period only, Vimana been brought into aspect. That Vimana been introduced in the world. As you said, it's not a actually Indian traditional culture. It's a global knowledge system only. We should say, because many things we can even today we are seeing in Italy, German and all, Dwapara Yuga. and all these things are still it is there emerged, it is surviving, and we are finding it from newspapers, the place where Sita lived and given birth, when she has gone into the earth and all, still it is vigilant, the people can see, and we still believe Hanuman is still living. All these things really makes us to feel that this is a ancient it is alive in the universe. But only thing is, the current generation, the new generation, they should be given as opening eye, that is opening eyes. We have to open their eyes, so that they will come to know this all there. They will believe in that. How we believe in sun, moon, air, water, like that we'll be believing. The coming generation, they'll be believing. And this Ramayana, the Vimana been introduced, and I have read it in our textbook, ma'am. Russia, they have taken this Adharvana Veda. Based on that, they started manufacturing the aircrafts. Is it correct, ma'am, my point?
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we'll discuss this again, ma'am. So as ma'am has told that many scriptures from Ramayana and Adharvana Veda have been included in Russian education system. Same way it can be, thank you so much, Sujata ma'am. Same way it can be added into the curriculums of the Indian knowledge system in the uh, uh, Indian day-to-day life, where we teach our students. So how the curriculum development? So we don't have to change the complete curriculum. So we have to start reading about it. We have to start getting knowledge about the Indian knowledge system, and then we have to um, um, we have to start using this and working on it. So for example, if you want to teach, as ma'am has told, that management theories from Mahabharata and Chanakya Niti. So for example, if you're teaching one topic from management, on that day you can give an assignment to us, to the students, talking about, so for example, any management word. I'm not aware about management much, so any um, name of any theory you can give, which is already there in Chanakya Niti or Mahabharata or elsewhere, and you can ask them to find out about that, read about that, and then come back and discuss about that. So a seminar, a journal club discussion, or anything can be done. A topic of research can be given to them. So here, including it in curriculum development doesn't mean that you have to completely change the books. You can just add one small topic in every chapter, or at the end of a chapter, or a small story at the end of a chapter can be told to the students, and that's how it can be slowly included into the curriculum. And once we add these assignments and all, these can be taken as an evidence based, and the pictures of that, how it can be taught, and and you can also include that in your what do I say, NIRFs and NAC rankings, how you have included that. You can write about it, and how the thought process of the students have been changed, that can be documented. After documenting this can be published, and we can by which we can later tell the policymakers that this topic can be added in the curriculum for the students. So here, when we talk about including Indian knowledge system, we have to not talk about now, because this is the starting stone for the inclusion of Indian knowledge system. We as an educators have to start using one topic each, and then document them, and we can upload it to the policymakers. And then we have to also use it in the interdisciplinary research. When we tell when there are coming when ICMR projects are there, and also your education systems will also give few fundings and all. So fundings, there should be special funds if the students do any research or any studies which will bridge IKS with the CKS, Indian knowledge system with the contemporary knowledge system. By promoting research, we can also include that in the Indian knowledge system. And also we can use this in during the community engagement, facilitate direct learning from the indigenous communities and knowledge holders. Here, we take students for the trips and all, where this time we can take them to for the school children, we can take them to temples. I have also been taken to temples from Chennai and Kerala, where we have been shown the temples not as a temple visit, because we were so fortunate with the school system we had. Chinmaya Vidyalaya, I am proud to take that name. So here what they have showed us is, when they have taken us to the temple, they have showed us how the architectural knowledge has been used in that era. So how the architecture designs and what they have used. So there is a temple in Tamil Nadu during the Rajaraja era. So where the granite is very hard and it is very brittle. But even the granite rock was used in the very minute carvings. So this is how you can include the direct learning from the indigenous communities and knowledge holders. And also, you can do the community engagement by taking students to already present gurukulas, which are already there at present, where ISKCON is also promoting gurukulas. They have gurukulas even now. There is Swami Narayana Gurukula also, where they are still giving knowledge as a Gurukulam system. And also there are many knowledge holders who are pioneers in Sanskrit and Vedic scriptures. So this community engagement, direct learning from them also can cultivate Indian knowledge system. And also we have to launch campaigns and highlight the relevance and values of Indian knowledge system in the day-to-day life. But now the next generation, we have our students are Gen Zs, Gen Alphas. Next will be the generation Beta. So these are the generations who are into the computers, cell phones, and all the knowledge they are getting from this cell phones and all. So we and when you see the minds of the new generation, the attention span is less than a golden fish, which you might know already, which is very less, 8 minutes. So then we have to change our education way of teaching. We have new teaching methodologies, we have new teaching technologies, we have adaptive learning, we have micro learning, micro lessons for these new generation. So how do we make the Indian knowledge system irresistible for these new new generation? So first thing what we can do is, we have to spark curiosity in the historical relics they have. We have to tell them with a very nice narrative storytelling about the fascinating insights, and how we can combine them with the contemporary experiences, all these things. But when you tell all these to the next generation, first they ask is for the scientific validation. So we have to highlight how scientifically validated it is, and also we can actually ask them to research on it and prove it through evidence, whatever practices which are done previously in the ancient method. And also we can encourage critical thinking and exploration into the indigenous wisdom. So first thing we have to do as educators now is to make the Indian knowledge system irresistible for the next generation. We have to include them, we have to tell them it's a in a proper storytelling, with an evidence-based storytelling, and we have to spark curiosity and include them everywhere possible and document it. Documentation is very, very important, and document it, and then that is how we can keep the next generation involved in this Indian knowledge system. and make them validate the Indian knowledge system. Coming to the role of Sanskrit and Vedic language. So once we know that there are scriptures from ancient era, medieval era, all the scriptures of Indian knowledge system, which are repositories of science, philosophy, cultural, etc. All these are in the language of Sanskrit and Vedas. And when we try to uh, uh, till we read the original Sanskrit and Vedic scriptures, we will not know the essence of the Indian knowledge system. Whatever we know at present about the Indian knowledge system is just a drop in the ocean. It is very, very little. But when we start reading the Sanskrit scriptures and also in the Vedic language, that is when we actually know the actual complete ocean of repositories which we also already have about the Indian knowledge system. So here what we can do is we have to use the interdisciplinary approach, where there are already people who are well versed in Sanskrit language and well versed in Vedic language who can translate it to us. So we have to integrate with them and try to use them because we can also learn Sanskrit and Vedic language, but for who want the immediate result. So you can actually integrate interdiscipline with this already masters of Sanskrit and Vedic language, and try to uh, take the material we have for our own managements or medicine, dentistry, or agriculture, whatever it is, and then use it in our Indian knowledge system for teaching and learning. So there's a small example how a lesson can be included of Indian knowledge system in psychology. So modern psychology, the main problem in the modern psychology is everyone is telling that I have anxiety issues, I have depression, I have burnout, I have stress, I have body image problems, all these things. So a small lesson of a ancient Ayurvedic system, that is Vata, Pitta, Kapha, can be included. This lesson can be included for the psychology students, where Ayurveda in ancient knowledge only have told us that our body is divided into three, that is Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, and then they have included our mind and body and divided us into these three doshas, Vata dosha, Pitta dosha, and Kapha dosha, and make us learn about what kind of body type we are and what kind of psychological problems we might develop, how to balance these, and how to learn about this. So this is a small example how we can include Ayurvedic principles into psychology. Same way, when we see, here you can see the Samudragupta seal. Samudragupta seal, if you can observe, it has a very intricate design. So no one will even imagine this kind of precisional intricate design which was there in 300 to 335 to 375 era. So here it's a combination of metallurgy, intricate design, all these things are combined. So we can teach a student how high pure gold has been uh, uh, taken from the gold ore, and how detailed and durable the engravings are there on the point. That means how precision the instruments they have used. So there can be research on the instrumentations that can be used. There can be research on the die making and casting techniques which are used in the age old, and they can be research on how to refine pure gold. And also all these will suggest there is a deep understanding of metal properties, manipulation of artistic, and also which can be used in the practical purposes this era. So this is how these old examples can be taken, and then they can be taught as an example in the modern era to the students. And also, as I have already told you about the temple, so when next time when we take our students to the temples, we can tell them it's not only about praying in the ancient temples. They can also learn from the structural architecture, how the massive stone construction has been done, how the acoustics where sounds have been amplified with specific frequency and resonate, how astronomy and vastu shastra, that is celestial events and adherence to principles, where you can see there are many Surya temples uh, in India where the sun rays will fall only at the particular time. That marvelous architectures have been done, and how water management systems have been integrated within temple complexes, indicating the advanced civil engineering. So one temple visit can show us about the engineering, architecture, acoustics, astronomy, Vastu Shastra, and hydrology. So, Indian knowledge system is not about a single department of technology. It is a combination, it's a holistic, interdisciplinary learning. So, the key takeaways today are harvesting the wisdom of ages. So, we have to integrate the Indian knowledge system to contemporary framework. It's not just an academic exercise, but it's a vital step towards more equitable, sustainable, and knowledgeable global society. So, we have to, as an educators, embrace this logical, scientific, and cultural rich aspects of Indian knowledge system and unlock the new pathways for innovation and understanding. So we have to do the combined interdisciplinary approach with the Sanskrit languages also, which is very, very important to learn in depth about the Indian knowledge system. Not only the scriptures which have been translated, half and half translations of it. So we need the complete knowledge, and also how we can do the holistic principles of Ayurveda, etc. So the most important key lessons we have from ancient Indian science is interdisciplinary thinking. So it seamlessly integrates the philosophy, science, and practical application. It's an holistic approach fostered with innovation and deeper understanding. All the practices which have been in the ancient science are sustainable practice. They have resource conservation. They provide us a valuable models for sustainable development. So these days, many projects and research projects, where there are global competitions, they ask for how sustainably you want to practice the particular thing. So we can take ideas from our Indian knowledge, ancient Indian sciences, and then create a project work, and then we can win marvelous prizes. And then we have innovative spirit, the drive for discovery and problem solving, evident in diverse fields, reminds us to foster curiosity and original thought. So India's enduring legacy, it is a synthesis of science and spirituality. Its rich heritage isn't just about scientific achievements, it's a testament to civilization that understood the interconnectionness of the knowledge. So, so we have to know about the different. So here, how we can engage with Indian knowledge system. So we have to dive deeper. As an educators, we have to read books, articles, and research papers on various aspects. There are many podcasts also which are available about Indian knowledge system at present, which will give you a summary about Indian knowledge systems of your topic. And we have to also collaborate with different universities and research centers which have been actively working on Indian knowledge system research and preservation. And we have to integrate and innovate. We have to apply our teaching and research and professional practice, fostering new interdisciplinary approaches. So we have to take a moment, and how can you bring this in your knowledge system, whether it is engineering, medicine, management, and humanities. So here I would like to invite you to reflect and share how you want to apply the principles of Indian knowledge system in your work and day-to-day life. You can think about a holistic problem solving. You can think about a small sustainable practice which can be included in your particular field. You can think about any ethical consideration in any technology. You can think about any interdisciplinary collaboration. You can actually share your thoughts and ideas in the chat. I'm here to discuss about that. So with this, I thank you for your engagement and curiosity. I would like to end it with a quote where what is old, if not reinterpreted, it will become irrelevant. What is new, if it is not rooted, it becomes unstable. That means whatever the new technology we want, if we are not rooting it to the older ancient technology, it becomes unstable. So this quote encapsulates the essence of integration of Indian knowledge system into our contemporary understanding. Let's build a future that is both innovative and deeply rooted in timeless wisdom. I thank you so much, and I thank IoT Academy for this opportunities. Any questions? I am open for them.